is ridiculous because no one's following. So when we suicide our country in order to reduce our contribution to global carbon emissions from 2% to 1% or even to 0%, but no one follows that, we are not helping anything, and we're ruining our own economy, which means that we're not able to project our power, which means we're not a good ally to the United States. So I think that will play out, and my understanding of many of the Trump policies is that he's going out to an extreme in order to encourage Europeans to do more, which they're doing. And hopefully, you know, the argument we've heard about tariffs is something we haven't mentioned yet, is that the reason Donald Trump is doing this is he actually wants a zero tariff world, which it isn't. And the way to achieve a zero tariff world is to make people see that when you put tariffs on American stuff, it's not good for America, it's also not good for you, so let's all go to zero. We're not there yet, that is still ongoing, right? But I think the other thing, and this is important because we talked about this with Joe Rogan on his show, what we also saw from the Signal group chat is the reaction to it from a lot of people in the new media and in the old media, where, look, obviously the people on the left are going to jump on that as an opportunity to try and criticize the administration, and
so they should.
And so they should. But you also see that those of us who have called out the craziness of the woke period that has been going for some time, we, I think, you and I and others, try to be honest, and we say, look, this was not a good thing. Like, if you add a journalist to a Signal group in which plans for US attacks on Yemen are being discussed, that's not a good thing. But you also saw that a lot of people are just partisan, and they try and pretend it away, claim that this journalist is a bad person. Maybe he is a bad person, doesn't mean that adding him to his Signal group is a good thing. And I think one of the things that you're about to see is a big pivot. I think this space is going to split into those people, and look, I'll give you an example. I've had run-ins with Glenn Greenwald online. We've had him on our show. I said some things about him that were not complimentary after, in part of our discussions, whatever. But he's been very principled on things like this, as have many other people. But there's also going to be a section of people who, they never really cared about the truth. They never really cared about being balanced. They just care about their side. And to them, it's like red team, blue team. They're on team red, and they'll ignore everything that team red does that's bad and focus only on what Team Blue does. And I think that's going to be a big split in the space.
Well, it is, and what you're going to see is actually people who have the integrity to come out and criticise Team Red, and the people that don't. And look, I think this is one of the things we need to talk about honestly. There's just